There are places in the world where history and mystery seem to hang in the air. You can almost feel it all around you. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem is one of those unforgettable places. For generations, people from every corner of the globe have journeyed here, treading these time-worn stones in search of meaning, or maybe a glimpse of something sacred. At the very center stands the Edicule, believed by many to be the actual tomb of Jesus of Nazareth. Centuries of devotion and the relentless passage of time had left the Edicule fragile, almost on the verge of collapse. That's why a massive restoration project began, giving scientists a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to dig deeper and ask, what could be hidden beneath? The mission wasn't to challenge anyone's beliefs, but to finally let these ancient stones reveal their story. In 2016, a rare agreement was reached. The Greek Orthodox, Armenian, and Roman Catholic churches set aside their differences to restore the crumbling Edicule. For a team of scientists from the National Technical University of Athens, led by Professor Antonia Maropoulou, it was a once-in-a-lifetime chance. They had just 60 hours to investigate. The marble slab covering the tomb would be moved for the first time in centuries. The pressure was immense, every move documented, every decision critical. Their mission: stabilize the structure and gather as much data as possible. Specialized equipment was brought in, scaffolding erected, and the team worked around the clock. Pilgrims continued to pray just feet away, as ancient chants mixed with the hum of modern machinery. On the night of October 26, 2016, the team gathered. With great effort, they slid back the marble cladding. A hush fell. Beneath the fill material they found another older marble slab, cracked, marked with a small cross. This was the moment they had been waiting for. Centuries of history were about to be revealed. The bridge between past and present was open. The world watched as the tomb's secrets began to emerge. Science and faith stood side by side. The quest for answers had truly begun. To unlock the tomb's secrets, the team needed more than shovels and brushes. They brought ground-penetrating radar, technology that sends radio waves into the ground and maps what lies beneath. Thermographic cameras revealed hidden voids and different materials by detecting heat signatures. Laser scanners created a perfect three-dimensional model of the tomb, recording every detail with millimeter accuracy. This digital blueprint preserved the site for future generations and allowed for in-depth analysis. The team collected tiny samples of mortar from between the original cave wall and the marble slab. These samples were sent for optically stimulated luminescence, or OSL, a technique that determines when the mortar was last exposed to sunlight. This would provide a definitive timeline for the tomb's construction. The technology allowed scientists to see without destroying, to map the unknown, and to preserve knowledge forever. Every scan, every sample, was a step closer to understanding the tomb's true history. The tools of discovery turned the restoration into a scientific investigation. The Edicule was not just being saved, it was being revealed. The team's work would change what we know about this sacred site. The data collected would echo through history. Science was giving voice to the silent stones. The tomb was ready to tell its story, and the world was listening. When the final cracked marble slab was lifted, the team held their breath. They found not treasure but something far more profound: the original limestone shelf, the rock where tradition says Jesus was laid. It was a simple, unadorned slab carved from the side of a natural cave. Seeing it for the first time in centuries was electrifying. Ground-penetrating radar confirmed the tomb was part of a larger limestone cave system. The Edicule was built around the remains of a first-century Jewish burial cave. This was a monumental discovery, confirming the physical nature of the site. The team documented everything: thousands of photographs, measurements, and crucial mortar samples. The original burial bed, intact and in its original location, was the ultimate confirmation. The site was indeed a real, physical tomb from the correct historical period. Scans and direct observation confirmed it was a shelf tomb, common for wealthy Jews in the 1st century. A body would be laid on a rock shelf, then later placed in an ossuary. This matched historical descriptions perfectly. The physical evidence aligned with scriptural accounts in a remarkable way. The team was not just restoring a building, they were touching the bedrock of history. The discovery was a bridge between faith and fact. The stones had finally spoken, and their story was extraordinary. The most astonishing discovery came from the lab. OSL dating of the mortar revealed the tomb's construction dated to around 345 AD, matching the era of Constantine the Great. This was the first scientific evidence confirming the tomb's ancient origins. Doubts that the site was a later medieval invention were swept away. The tomb was not a Crusader creation but a Roman one. This anchored the site's history in solid scientific fact. The structure pilgrims have visited for over 1,700 years is the same one built by the Romans. The mortar acted as a time capsule, sealed in darkness until modern science could read its clock. The data allowed the team to reconstruct the tomb's evolution: original construction, destruction, repairs, and rebirth. Each layer told a story of faith and resilience. The scientific data gave voice to these silent layers. The tomb became a living document of history. Its secrets, once hidden, were now revealed. The findings sent ripples through both scientific and religious communities. Archaeologists celebrated confirmation of the site's continuous history since the 4th century. Religious leaders saw the news as a confirmation of tradition, not a challenge to faith. The discovery connected abstract beliefs to a tangible place. Science and tradition walked hand in hand, each enriching the other. Professor Marapoulou called the project a message of hope, a testament to cooperation across cultures and faiths. Their goal was to study and preserve the monument, not to study the resurrection. The project showed that science and faith can be partners in understanding. Yet questions remain, especially about the 2 centuries before Constantine. The Romans built a temple to Venus over the site, but the details of the early Christian community remain a mystery. The archaeological work confirms layers of history, but some secrets still wait to be uncovered. The story is not finished. What does it mean when science can date the mortar of a sacred tomb? For many, it's a powerful affirmation, grounding faith in a real, verifiable place. The resurrection remains an article of faith, but the setting is now mapped, measured, and real. For others, the discoveries are a triumph of archaeology and technology. The project at the Holy Sepulchre shows how science can illuminate the past and enrich our understanding of human history. It's a story about our need to remember and to build monuments to what we hold sacred. Here, faith preserved the site, and science confirmed its origins. The two work together, not in conflict but in partnership. Science explores the physical world, faith interprets its meaning. Together, they create a richer understanding of our world. The discoveries remind us that history is written in stone, mortar, and memory. When faith and fact meet, the result is awe-inspiring. The 60 hours of investigation were just the beginning. The data collected will be studied for decades, offering clues to new questions. The project answered old mysteries and opened new ones, especially the gap between 33 AD and 326 AD. Could future technology reveal even more? The restoration stands as a beacon of unity, showing what's possible when rivals work together. In a divided world, the Edicule's restoration is a testament to shared heritage. The journey into our past is far from over. The story of the tomb is a reminder of the wonders that await discovery. It represents the power of curiosity, the resilience of faith, and our endless quest to understand where we come from. The tomb is sealed again, but its knowledge is open to the world, forever.